Yes, let's wait for some time. I'm going to cover how to manage market volatility and what am I doing here. I'm just having a nice walk, stroll, and nice weather here in near my home. I thought, why don't I come live and have a chat about that? So let's see if you're joining in. So one thing I want to share to start with, cash. What is cash about, right? The importance of cash in market correction. They say that, right? The earnings are vanity, and what you see, profits are sanity, and cash is king, right? That is important to understand, and especially the times like this, when if you have a cash, then you have a lot of opportunity to cobble in some amazing businesses. Now, I'm going to share with you 3 points or three core things which I do during the volatile times. Because, but before I go into, I want to give some context because that is also important to understand. Because the times are not like that. If you remember, back in last year when I was sharing, if you follow me on my Twitter handle at the red Bhatia Shivendra, so I share a lot of insights there quickly, and I've been telling that in my lab portfolio, which is where we kind of do a lot of trading as well as find some new winners. Uh, like in that case you have to be really be very clear that when you exit. And at the end, what are we are literally nothing but risk managers. We need to be purely risk managers in our case, because that's where only we can succeed. And while I'm working, I also make sure that I'm looking around. It's a nice weather though. So we are kind of risk managers. We have to ensure that we are, following our risk strategy, right? For whether it's for clearly, and there should be clear objectives around whether we're looking for our short-term portfolios and we're looking for long-term portfolios. Now, if you're joining me live, give a thumbs up and also just type in comment box below from where you're joining in, so that at least I know that you're able to hear me. All right, great. And now, what should we do in these volatile times, especially when you look at it? I was telling to my community members, how do I see when I look at Australia market, US market, and India market? Now, somehow I said there's you have to look at it, the cricket pitch, right? In a cricket pitch, what happens? Every pitch is different, whether it's an pitch in Perth, whether pitch in Sydney, Melbourne, India, everywhere you have a different pitch and different environment. Climate makes a lot of difference, right? So that way you need to know how you can accommodate, and you have to really literally be agile, flexible, adaptable to the whole style. And that is what you can't continue doing the same thing what you're doing in all conditions, right? And same way in market, especially in stock market, also important. Every environment is different. You should be ready for it and adapt to it. And last time, I think sometime in September, I said, like, look, it's time to take some money off the table because cash is king, as I told you. And now I'm kind of sitting in, trying to see what's the best time to enter in. And I'll be sharing a lot of such insights here. If you're new to my channel, do subscribe to my channel, because I'll be sharing some stuff to you in terms of how I'm looking at, stocks, sectors, especially when you have corrections. It's a really, I always say, give me red, so it's better opportunity, because times will change. It will continue on up and down. It's part of the cycle, right? But you don't know how long it will be like this. So you have to have a right approach and wait for the right time to start, entering into market. But right now, it doesn't look like, I don't see any side close, especially in India market. The way I'm seeing is India market has completely become a test match kind of scenario. Australia market is like a one dayers, and US market is like a T20. So you have to be accordingly, adjust. What does it mean? You have to tell me, all right? So if you are getting it, just type get it on the comment box, so at least know that you are able to hear me. And while I wanted to cover these 3 points while I'm this live, so that it's clear, 3 points which I want to discuss about how you manage volatility and what am I doing in this in times like this. As you can see, I'm having a nice walk. So the first thing first, you have to keep your eyes and ears open and always continue your journey of reading, understanding, learning, understanding businesses, what are doing, because business would have not changed, environment has changed, right? And times like this, everything will fall, whether it's a good business, bad business, ugly business, you know, great, good, and gruesome, according to Warren Buffett. All of them will come into this whole saga of in terms of the correction. So you have to make use of that and find out which are the great companies also taking plunge, and try and make sure that if you have gruesome businesses, you should not. And I've covered this time and time in my videos. What are the gruesome businesses you should be, following that, ensuring that they're not part of your portfolio. It's not that my portfolio is not down; it is down, but the good part is that I've been taking off the money. I've shared a lot of videos. As long as you're overall taking money home and you know that business are great, you just hold on to it. And being a busy professional like we, just having a busy day at work, you tend to have those situations where things may not fall in place as you want, right? I don't mind taking losses as well, because as long as I know overall approach is there. So first thing first is make sure that you are very clearly articulating and not venturing out into gruesome businesses in times like this. Because times like this, you have to focus on right businesses, which are great businesses. Are we getting the great businesses at the great price? That is a right price. Sometimes great businesses are available at great prices and everybody wants to buy it. Now things are available, people don't want to buy. So number one, keep studying that. How do we study that? You're going to ask that question to me. Yes. And if that is the case, look at technicals. Now that's where we as a peaceful weekend investor rely upon, because we are busy. We can't just keep on studying and reports after. Yes, that is the way you can build your. Sorry about this wind, because you might hear. I'm not sure whether you're able to hear me well. Do type in the comment box if you're able to hear me well. So you look at business fundamentals as to build the conviction, right? And I can see there are three people live now. We do want to just put in comment box to see whether I'm getting any comments coming through. Nothing so far, but do type in so that I know that you're getting value out of that. So there are many ways to understand the businesses. So that's number one. And try and see charts, because charts cannot lie, and that is important, right? So that's number one. So try and understand, make a list of those sectors, list of companies within that. No recommendation of buy and sell. That's why I'm making more generic. So that's number one, which I'm doing. Number two, about how you are looking at businesses, you also start making a list of what you have. Okay, and because you don't want to keep on buying new ideas, I'm looking at what I have in my portfolio and what are things which I should make use of it, whether it's ETF or want to start with, because this is the time to accumulate ETFs, and that to write ETFs, and I'm going to share some thoughts about it. Thanks, Soranya, for telling me that you can hear me well. Much appreciated. Good to see you after a long time. How are you doing? So ETFs could be another approach to start with, not a sectoral and broad one. So that could be a best time to buy some great businesses, because Nifty 50 or ETFs in S&P and things like that. Yeah, there is a strategy to follow, especially in the correcting markets, because then it's much easier to get them in at a price like this, and then you can focus on some great businesses in small cap and mid cap, right? So that's the second approach I look at it in the volatile times, because when it is too extended to my liking, it's not time to add on. I don't believe in SIP kind of mode to keep going on, because at the end of the day, that revert to mean happens. What is happening is market has found a reason to correct, and that is like, if you go back in history, I mean, I was going through, just take one chart. I was going through analysis of a Nifty chart, and if you look at the Nifty chart alone, the Nifty has corrected around, I don't know, you can tell me around 18% or less than 18%. But in the past, it has gone down 50%, 25%. God forbid doesn't happen. I'm not saying the corrections will further correct. But, you look back and look at your history, what has happened. And you have to have, plan for that. What if, if Nifty corrects further, what are you going to do? What if the S&P starts crashing? Or you have to have a way to find a process which can put you in a place beyond a cash, or and then we make use of it. So yeah, so that's another second approach which I'm doing, gobbling into some of the ETFs, so it becomes more peaceful, bring some stability to my portfolio. And third is making understanding of your process and following, making sure that you're following your own processes. You're not at all, because the fear can be crippling because of the corrections, and people who have come new to the market and during COVID time they haven't seen any corrections. And I've seen from 2000 2008, then COVID corrections, at least three major corrections. And that's part of the game. You have to weather through it, because after all the bad times, good times will come, and we have to just wait like an eagle eye, waiting through and try and start, um, wait for that opportunity, I can say. Until the time, you just have to sharpen your skills and enjoy it peacefully, because that's the only way you can weather through this storm. And like, as I say, these are three things, key things I want to share with you. Hope it was useful. If it was useful, just type useful. It will help you. Is there any questions I can take? I'm more than happy to take, or you can put it in the comment box below. I'll respond to you. But I'm really enjoying the weather. It's beautiful weather. As you can see, it's a nearby park and things, which I'm kind of taking a walk around after finishing my busy day at work. And if you're joining first time, just type first time, so I know you are there for first time. Any question I can help you with before I wrap up this live session, where I covered three key points which I'm doing in volatile situation, how I'm navigating through. Yep. Great. Good to see you, Saranya, here live. So thank you so much for joining. Uh, and give a thumbs up to this live, so at least I know that you are got value from this. I just wanted to come and say hi to you. Wish you a peaceful weekend investing, and looking forward for more such conversation in future. Bye bye. Have a good one.